All right, y'all. Welcome to Hollywood Deli. I'm your host, Blue. So listen, let's talk about it. Sister Wives, season 20, episode 1. It was a good episode. There was some boring parts. There was some parts of it that I didn't care about. I didn't care about Kody and Robin's routine with their children. We don't care about that. We don't want you to try to rehab your image, Robyn and Kody, with making yourselves look like the perfect couple who's just a normal monogamous couple who take care of their children without addressing the shit that you did to get there. Because we all know that you and Kody pushed these women out because they wouldn't do the one thing that you needed to stay. So let me get into it. So Kody and Robyn try to go on this tirade of how they didn't choose monogamy and that their ex wives, now she's calling them the ex wives, they're not her sister wives anymore. The ties have turned. She is calling them his ex wives, not her sister wives. And Robyn, those words are very telling. You know why they're so telling? Because we know that this is how you always felt, as though you weren't a sister wife. You didn't act like one. You never live you've always lived monogamy. You never live plural marriage because you wouldn't cherish time. And you made up any and every excuse to keep them over at your house. And it would became very obvious through the COVID rules that you created that you still want to deny and still having Kody come out here trying to tell us that these were his rules when we know they weren't because he wasn't even following them. Because how do we know that he wasn't following those COVID rules? Because it was all on video of him gyrating, carrying on at his friend's wedding that he officiated in the middle of a pandemic, but couldn't go to surgery of his daughter. But you were okay with him going to a wedding, gyrating around, acting a donkey at his friend's wedding. You know, Robin's so super passive aggressive, and this episode really shows that how passive aggressive she is. So now she's calling them the ex wives and saying that it was them that chose monogamy for her. No, Robyn, it was your actions. It was you and Cody's actions. You were not wanting him to visit his other wives. You not wanting him to be intimate with his other wives. And how do we know this? How do we know this? Because of Kody. Kody tells everything. He says, this is Cody's story, that everybody was welcoming of Robyn until he had to get in her bed, until the honeymoon happened. And it was like, if you knew that, Kody, that that was a problem, right? We know that it was a problem for Robyn too. She's not exempt. She's a woman. And so we knew that it was a problem for her being for you for her, excuse me, it was a problem for her you being in their beds because you stopped being in their beds. You stopped giving Christine the dick and you punished her and told her that if she didn't be nice to Robyn, you wouldn't give her none. And how do I know this? Because Kody told me. Kody and Robyn sits down for dinner and they contemplate I'm sorry, not monogamy, plural marriage again. And Kody said the only reason why he would do it would be for sex because Robyn clearly isn't interested in having sex with him. And we see why, Kody, after reading Christine's book. You just don't lube it up and just stick your dick in people. We see why she's not hot for you anymore. You don't even want to do foreplay. And then there was this little nasty conversation between Robyn and Kody about licking. Honey, we know he ain't licking. We read Christine's book. He not licking coochie. So we know you licking. Like you was licking that fork and trying to play all this shy role. Robyn, we ain't going for the shy role no more, baby. The mask done dropped too many times of you with your smart mouth. So we know that you're not shy. So stop this. And then she said, I pretend to be so she didn't say I pretended. This is my words. Um, I I know I come off as snobby, but it's really me being shy. No, Robyn, you want to be snobby. You want to be snobby, but we still know that you're the uneducated bitch from the trailer. We know. Like you just got a couple of ducats in the account now that's dwindling because you got a spending habit, buying dolls and talking to them and shit and writing reviews. Robyn's a mess. So they sit down and they pretend to contemplate plural marriage. And Kody says the only reason why he would do it was to get his dick wet. And Robyn said that's not a reason to want to do it. And he's like, he wants a hot wife too. He doesn't want just any old thing. He wants a really good looking wife. And Robyn can't have that. Robyn can't have no competition. That's why she liked the other sister wives. That's why she was crying because they left, because she knew that she got a nympho on her hands of a husband, and Janelle was blowing his back out for her. So she was happy to have Janelle around. And then she got angry at the other sister wives because they stopped doing things for him. Like Christine was doing them long hour massages that she didn't have to do. And now she had to do them. So she was mad at Christine. And so now we know that you can't keep up with him and you don't want to keep up with him. You got him. You got him by the balls financially, because if he divorced you, you take in half. And he knows it. And spouse support you're getting because you don't work. Kody goes out here tricking for $1 on Cameo and Special Forces. You ain't working. You haven't worked since he got you. You just spent his money. So now Robyn's pretending like she wants plural marriage, and she's fearful that Kody's sex drive will be just too much for her, and he needs more wives. Now she's fearful of that. After you done made him cut off the other wives sexually and financially. But we ain't gonna talk about that. So now Kody calls her sister wives sister wenches, because he said one of the requirements that he would require of another wife was that they would have to adore Robyn. That's what Robyn wanted. She wanted to be adored and beloved in this family. And she couldn't have that. You know why? Because Christine was beloved and adored. Janelle was beloved and adored. Nobody liked Mary. So she tried to bulldoze her way in here and become the favorite sister wife, become the favorite wife, and it didn't work. It blew up in her face, and all she did was rub the kids the wrong way. And they pretty much, after a while, told her, fuck you, who are you? And called her out on her shit, that you made these Clover rules to make her dad exclusive and to alienate him from us. And he's so pussy whipped, he's following these rules. Well, he's not following them, he's pushing them on us. And we want you to stop these rules. And she got mad. How dare y'all call me out? So anyway, that was the caveat, that Christine had to adore Robyn. Janelle had to adore Robyn and also act like Robyn. They had to be devoted and loyal like Robyn. He wanted Robins, all Robins. He wanted all the wives acting like Robyn. And if they didn't do that, cast them out, push them out, got them up out of here. Because if you ain't gonna adore her, then you can't be around. Because nobody's gonna make my baby feel any type of way. That's what he called her. He called her his baby. He ain't never show no endearment towards these other wives like that. So then, what really took the cake for me, Kody's a fucking mess, was that Kody had the nerve to make it seem as though the other sister wives were witches because they didn't placate Robyn. And mind you, they took care of this bitch. They gave all their money to this woman, let her get the legal wife position. Mary placated her the most. And Mary even said it the best. She said, I didn't choose monogamy for Robyn. I chose me. And I wasn't going to live monogamy with someone who I don't even have a relationship. I mean, it's not monogamy, I'm sorry. Polygamy with who I don't even have a relationship. I don't have a relationship with Kody. And I barely had one with Robyn. She's finally speaking the truth. And we love this for Mary. We love this for Mary. And Mary's doing the speed dating thing. I don't give a damn about the speed dating. I hope you meet a man, Mary. But what I love the most is the shade. The shade in this episode. But I don't want to get to the other sister wives. I want to talk about the shade from Robyn. So when Robyn was asking Kody his motivation for plural marriage, he said it would only be that she be good looking and that she be, sexy and adore Robyn, what they have is so special it has to be duplicated by this other wife. And Robyn was like, okay, if that's all it's about, what is she, just your confidant? Because that, not confidant, your concubine, and because she said, because that's what it sounds like. And Robyn, you sneaky, slithery snake. We know that that was a direct, passive aggressive hit towards the other wives. I think Robyn's been listened to without a crystal ball because she always called Christine, Janelle, and Mary concubines. Well, not Mary so much, but Christine and Janelle. And she always tries to take these little digs. But my whole thing is, Kody, if you really moved on and you really happy with Robyn, why are you taking digs at Janelle and Mary and Christine? And Mary was just like, you know what, Kody? Kody has to make call people names to have confidence. She clocked it. He has low self esteem. And that was one of the requirements that she said, and the man that she picked in the speed dating was has to be confident. And she knows Cody's not confident. He portrays to be confident, but he's not really confident, because if he's really confident, he wouldn't do some of the things that he does, which is call people names, compare himself to David. He wouldn't even cared about David. He was so obsessed with what David looked like. But I love Janelle. Janelle said, "You know what? I'll take that. I'll be a witch." And the smile. She Janelle is unbothered, unfazed. She's moved on. She's moved on so much so that she's not even here for Christine's foolishness. So Janelle explains to us that the land that her and Maddie has bought is going to be more or less for them to reside on, in a gathering place for the family. And Christine, once again, being jealous, because Christine's just a jealous bitch. She all talk about, I'm hoping that people want to come. My place is the gathering spot, because Christine always wants to be the center of the family, and she's getting kind of jealous. Like, she try to play it like she not. And Janelle's like, look, I'm not in competition with Christine, anybody. I'm just trying to build a space for my kids. Like, I'm loving the energy that I mean, sorry, not Christine, Janelle's giving. She's moving on. She not even here for the tit for tat. She wants Coyote Pass resolved. She's like, this is just a pain in my ass. Like, we just need to get it resolved and done with. They want to move on. Cody's using Coyote Pass as a way to dangle it, another carrot, because he can't control them any other way but through this land. And so Cody's talking about, I'm just not there's a lot of junk on the land, and I'm not motivated to clean it because they haven't been kind. What do you call being kind, Kody? You called Mary boring and mean. You said Janelle is not emotionally deep and that you never loved her. You said Christine was a pig, and you were just repulsed by her. You were disgusted by her. And that leads me to the conversation that there was about uh, Mary's speed dating. So Kody made a comment. No, not Kody, but Mary was being really super silly, and she said she snorts when she laughs, whatever. And Cody's all talking about, I enjoy humor. I don't care if you laugh so hard that you fart. Like, Kody, you were repulsed by a woman who ate nachos. We not believing this bullshit narrative that you and Robyn are trying to concoct in your heads with these scripted, super scripted conversations. We know that the conversations are scripted, but your shit is just too obvious. You and Robyn shit is just way too obvious. But I'm not for all this comparison of David to Kody. Like, they're saying that David has an ego just like Kody. And I'm just like, well, is this going to be problematic? But he seems to not think so. He said it because they're older, which means nothing. That because they're older, they don't really sweat the small stuff, and that they just figure things out. And it's like, young couples do that too, David. You sound so prehistoric. But anyway, I enjoyed this new episode. I really did. I enjoyed it, and I'm ready for them to start really throwing some shade at Robyn. I'm tired of this holier than thou image. I'm over it. Anyway, make sure you like, subscribe, make sure you leave 5-star rating, and y'all have a good night.